Welcome back to PÖFF TV, the official channel for the 26th Black Nights Film Festival, here with another session of Meet the Filmmakers. I am your host Andrei Liimets, and with me I have the filmmakers behind Sanaa, which will have its world premiere here at the Black Nights Film Festival as part of the main competition. So welcome the director of the film, Sudhanshu Saria.
Thank you for having me.
And the lead for the film, Radhika Madan.
Thank you.
So first of all, I want to start with you, Sudhanshu, because your first feature live also premiered here at the Black Nights, and after that you've been a part of the jury here. So what makes Black Nights stand out for you, or why is they an important festival for you personally?
I mean, Black Nights is it's the proverbial girl that said yes. And so I just keep coming back for more love. I mean, it's been so fantastic to me. In India, they were asking me, why Black Nights? Why have you selected this place? And I consider it sort of the birthplace of my cinema, my voice. And no matter what I make, I'll keep bringing it back here. It's the festival that stood with me, that branded me, positioned me, told the world, look at this voice, look at this guy. And they've stood by me when I made Knock Knock Knock, which was, again, a very unconventional film. And they placed it, and they created almost a new section for it, Homecoming, and they programmed it alongside Yorgos Lanthimos and Peter Strickland, which for me was bizarre, but that's their belief in me, and so I'm anything but not loyal. So when someone comes at you with that much love, you come all the way back. So huge honor for us to be in the main competition this time. And I'm really hoping Tina and the festival will keep calling us back, and we'll keep coming back here with more movies for more love.
And this is now your second feature, Sanaa,
Yes.
which tells about this titular character played by Radhika, an Indian woman who is kind of trying to redefine what it means to be an Indian woman today. So how did you come up with this story, and why was it the one you wanted to tell?
I remember being at a dinner like 4 or 5 years ago, and I realized I didn't actually know anyone who had gotten an abortion. And immediately I realized that that's not possible. It's just that, women weren't telling me about it. And I started to see parallels between that and homosexuality, how it's intellectually accepted, but no one wants to talk about it. It's one of those things that you sort of just, let it happen, at least in Indian society. So I really focused on researching and talking to, and took about 2 years for me to start digging into it to figure out what is that about. It's not about, people love to believe that if you're from a small town, or if you don't have the money for it, or if you are very religious, or if your parents are judgmental, or if you live with your parents or at a young age, only then are you scared of abortion or ashamed of it. But I was starting to see that in the most liberated of circles, in the most educated of powerful, liberal, feminist of circles, abortion was an idea that was intellectually championed, but sort of kept hidden out of view. And inside that investigation, out of that came the script. And the goal was always to be very, very empathetic, and pay attention and listen, and truly allow the many contradictions and complications of femalehood to come through. And obviously I did this knowing fully well that being a man, this was just going to be, I was like, this is a minefield. You're going to get killed either way. But I came at it with a lot of humility, and I surrounded myself with amazing, powerful female collaborators, all of whom protected me and guided the film to its true intention. And that's how we arrived at the film.
So Radhika, as an actress, you are very well known in India. What made this screenplay stand out for you, and why did you want to make this film with Sudhanshu?
So when I read the film on paper, it wasn't saying, the dialogues were not saying anything. It was just written like, no. But there were 100 layers beneath every word. So when you read the script, it's like, oh, it's in everyday life. But you still get a sense that something is not right here. So when I met him and when I spoke to him, he told me that every word is written very consciously, And we did a lot of workshops to figure it out why I'm saying what. So there were 100 layers beneath it. And as an actor, it was very, very challenging. So I just read it and I was like, okay, it scares the shit out of me. I'm going to do it. That was the only motivation behind it, because I take on projects which really scare me. And this was the scariest project. It was the toughest project I've done till date. And I just wanted to work with this genius. And somehow all of it got aligned. And
No,
we
I'm
worked together.
also very grateful. I think she's wise far beyond her years, and the confidence and clarity with which she said yes to a script. And a lot can go wrong between a script and a finished film. And I didn't have that level of body of work, or I did not have a big producer backing me. Things that are calming to actors, which tell them, okay, I'll be taken care of. So I was quite surprised, but very, very emboldened. And the film was with the studio at the time, and I decided to produce it independently and took it out of the studio. And she was my first phone call, because I was like, maybe she's in it because of the studio. And she's like, this is me and this character is mine. I don't care how it gets made, with who it gets made, I'm doing this. Just to make it very clear. Like, don't call me again.
So, of course, this film is yet to screen in India, which
Yes.
is, of course, in terms of women's rights, still a rather conservative society. So, do you think it will be divisive in your home country?
See, we just want to show everyone a mirror. We don't want to. We're not preaching anything. We are. Nobody's saying anything which will offend them or do. Just make them feel anything. So we just want to show them a mirror. We just want to show them, okay, this is how it's operating. If they feel something, if it hits them, our main goal is to just make them a little introspective. And if they just go back and think about the film and address issues which they're facing inside, I think our job is done. If we can just start the talk, our job is done. Because on the set, while we were shooting, there were a lot of women on the set. And when we were performing scenes which were really challenging and a little triggering, a lot of them, like my makeup person or my wardrobe person, they came into the van and they started confessing stuff which they hadn't thought about, which were buried in their heads, thinking that, it's something that we don't have to address. But because of watching the scene, they were like, why am I not facing that? And if we can just start a conversation, our job is done. We don't want to preach anything. We don't want to tell them, hey, do it like this, do it like that. Nothing. Just a conversation.
And I actually don't think it's about Indian women at all,
Yeah.
actually.
Yeah.
I've actually lived in India for many, many years. I've had a full career in the States for many years because of my background as a producer doing international co-productions. I've spent time in Canada, in Germany, in France. And I think it's a very global film in that way. And I think, and I say this in the least arrogant way, it's going to trigger introspection for empowered, educated, world-traveled, liberal feminists around the world. Because it's not made to punch into an easy target. It's actually a nuanced conversation that challenges your perception of empowerment and feminism. And to me, that is the tougher goal to try and achieve. And it also means you can get it wrong, and it also means you can get it critiqued. It will offend people, maybe, but all of it is in service of a conversation. I think the easier film to make is one that's targeted at the quote-unquote conservative Indian woman. I think there's other people who should make that. For me, I'd rather speak to the strongest, the most educated, the most liberated among us to question, is the system, is there a way to get out of it? Or is this patriarchy, is it so insidious that no matter how high you go, you still end up fighting for the validation of this invisible bench?
So Sudhanshu and Radhika, thank you very much for this talk, and I hope you all the best with your film Sanaa, which is premiering here at the Black Nights Film Festival, and not only premiering but having its world premiere as part of the main competition. So do definitely go and check it out and watch all the other good movies here at the Black Nights Film Festival, and see you around at the next sessions of Meet the Filmmakers as well as during the festival. Thank you for watching.
Thank you.
Thank you.